mirror on the wall. Tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my De La clothes or is it just my De La song? What I do ain't make believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being De La, it's just me, myself, and I.
Rockin' Locken, hey, back again on the What's Your Opinion show. Hey, listen, I had a few things that were on my mind I wanted to talk about tonight and kind of get off my chest that were kind of pissing me off and kind of irritating me. 3 issues, really. I'm going to start with the first one because it's quick and we can get it out of the way. I already talked about the Putin Trump little summit there in Helsinki. I already talked about that in a couple shows before, but so what happened was this past week he tried to walk back. He had said when they were at the press conference that Putin said that the Russians had nothing to do with it, and then Trump had read off his page saying that. I don't see why they would have had anything to do with it, and he took a lot of heat for that. So now he's trying to say that he misspoke or that he had the wrong notes and all this. But check this out and listen for yourself and see if you can hear this. Now this is just a second. Now here it goes.
My people came to me. Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have. President Putin, he just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be.
He doesn't see any reason why it would be. Does that sound like wouldn't at all? No, that doesn't sound like wouldn't at all. Of course, now he's trying to make the excuse that he had the wrong note in front of him or the wrong notes. If he's that incoherent, then we really do have a problem, a 25th Amendment problem. And I don't know, his mindset should probably be looked at, besides all the corrupt shit going on that we could be here all night talking about. I wanted to kind of talk about this story too. There's this lady who, well, she's kind of annoyed me for years. I could tell, I got kind of that third eye open like Kenny does, and I can kind of tell somebody that's not a good person, and I'm not going to use the B word because I'm not going to disrespect her like that, but recently Don Jr. split up with his wife, and he all of a sudden started dating Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle. I think she was on the 5 sometimes, and I don't know, I'd see her all over Fox, but total, Republican shill, total White House shill. So, so she left Fox, and, kind of the impression was given that she was going to kind of help with, I don't know, campaigning or whatever, or really get involved with what Don Jr. was doing. But apparently it's been reported that the Human Resources Department of Fox was looking into her for about a year due to misconduct that had been reported. Apparently she had shown lots of she'd shown like pictures to both female and male employees of naked objects. Let me scroll down here a little bit. Like for instance, pictures with penis, with penises on them, with drawings on the penis and things of that nature. So, whatever, it is what it is. It's just a fucking slum fest over at that place. And for everyone that they get rid of, they've got a million more behind them. You've got an endless supply of people over there, including the good old sludger. The good old sludger on Saturday nights, good old Judge Janine Pirro and, Dana Perino and, scumbags like Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfield, who is, by the way, not funny at all. But, Fox News is not funny at all. Fox News is state-run propaganda. But what I really want to talk about is an issue that really pissed me off. I heard this from the great Mike Malloy the other night. I caught this story, and Jeff Sessions was invited to speak at a gathering organized by Turning Point USA. This is a nonprofit kind of company that promotes conservative ideals on college campuses when student members of the audiences are interrupted. And then, anyway, somewhere in the middle of this, the audience interrupted with lock her up, and he kind of started laughing and, was going along with this. And these were high school kids. These were high school kids at a university. And it just shows it's kind of scary because, it's exciting on the one hand with the Parkland kids and the revolution that they've started, but it just goes to show you that you still have that bred in people, this hate. Sessions chuckled at the kids, saying, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. And, lock her up for what? She has never been convicted of anything. She has never been charged with anything. She has been searched up the ass, up the vagina, everywhere you can possibly go in a human being, okay? And they have found nothing on this lady. So, I mean, Sessions should have been responsible and stopped that right then and there. And then he started in with, of course, talking about other colleges across the country and how they coddle students and, give them time to write about their feelings and, use Play-Doh as art and coloring books and therapy dogs. And how much of this shit is true from coming out of Sessions' mouth? Who the fuck knows? Probably not a lot of it. Okay. And so basically what he is doing is he also told this group that, they won't be that way when they get to college. They'll be tough. They'll tough it out and they won't need all that help and any kind of guidance and, anything such as that nature, that they'll just, they'll be tough and they'll suck it up, and you had all these kids just in an uproar, and it was really alarming. I agreed with Mike Malloy totally. It was really alarming. It reminded me, I've seen video. There's video out there. The Nazis had TV before we did. Excuse me, of Hitler youth rallies. And I envisioned Trump youth rallies when he became president, that could be a possibility. And this is kind of what it reminded me of. And it's sad to see kids that age that feel that way. I had a little bit more trust in millennials. I know that's only a certain segment of the millennials that are, kind of part of that white racism. They're afraid, like their parents are. They've been taught to be afraid that their race is dying off and whatnot, and their religious liberties are being infringed upon them, and that, the news is a lie, and that, what Trump says is the ultimate word. Trump is the Messiah. It's scary because, they treated Jeff Sessions like that, and Jeff Sessions is a son of a bitch. This guy is a card. I don't care what anybody says. This guy is a card-carrying Klan member. I'm sure he's put on a hood. I'm sure that's like saying, I'm sure I've crossed a crosswalk before. I'm sure that he's put on several hoods in his life. Down there in old Alabama, good old Alabama, we're fighting for justice. Find a pot seat on your floorboard, 20 years in prison. Yeah, good old Jeff Sessions. He looks like a keebler elf. He looks like an albino keebler elf. I'm sorry to insult people, but this guy is a bastard. And we were even thinking about naming one of the local weed dispensaries, because it's legal here in Oregon. They were considering growing a strain and naming it after Jeff Sessions. I forget what the kids said that they were going to call it, but yeah, they were hoping maybe he'd visit sometime. Maybe he'd visit the West Coast, which I don't think so. I don't think that, but just like Trump, I don't think he'll ever come out here, not even for a major disaster. But Sessions is scary. Sessions is a racist. Sessions is somebody that I believe is pro-lynching. I don't know that for a fact, but I get a gut feeling about people. And, you know, he's a good old boy from Alabama. Good old boy. And I mean a real good old boy, like a good old boy, like, you know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. Yeah, this guy is, he and he's got such a draconian law mentality, right? He's stuck in like the 1950s, 60s of prosecuting. You know, he prosecute people. You know, privatize prisons. Um, you know, he likes locking people up. He likes especially minorities and poor white people, and you know, such as that. You know, this is what this guy likes to do, and so you know, it's scary. But what really scared me was whipping those kids up into a frenzy of lock her up, and him laughing it off and said, I've heard that before, and laughing it off and not correcting those young people and not telling them that there's nothing to lock her up for. She has never been charged nor found guilty of anything. And I'm not sitting here defending Hillary Clinton, but it is his fucking responsibility to set those kids straight. That's not cool at all. That's not cool at all to do. You would not see a fucking Democrat out there doing that unless the cause was absolutely right. And even at that, they play it cool. You know, they get into these mentalities, just like Meghan McCain earlier on the tape that or on the video that I did. You know, they get so wound up and worried, and they're afraid that their whiteness is going away and that their religion's trampled on and their Second Amendment, and nobody wants to fuck with any of that of theirs. But they want to fuck with people's reproductive rights. They want to fuck with people's marriage rights. They want to be in your bathroom. They want to be up your ass. They want to fuck with whatever you want to put in your system. You know, they want to fuck with all of that because that's their moral ideology. They want to fuck with all that with you, right? But yet they don't want they don't want the government involved in anything. Oh, the government can stay out of everything. They're the party of the government staying out of everything, except the shit I just mentioned, right? I mean, except being the pleasure police, basically. They want to stay, they don't want government involved to help people to build programs, to build new infrastructures, to do the shit we should have started doing in the 1970s and 80s, okay, on a mass scale again, like we had done in the 30s and 40s when FDR started the New Deal, okay? It's corruption, and it's gotten to the point where it's just so sickening, and it's right in front of our face. And yeah, Jeff Sessions is a really, yeah, I don't know. I think he is going to flip on Trump though eventually, or they've already got him perjuring himself. He already fucking perjured himself in front of in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee, or maybe it was the Congressional. I think he went in front of both, and he had a lot of he didn't remember. He sure as hell didn't remember a lot of meetings with Russians. Then he all of a sudden kind of remembered might have happened, but yeah, a lot of that staff sure forgot a lot of. But they had a lot of meeting with Russians that they forgot or didn't know about or weren't aware of, or meet a million people. But they meet a Russian. It doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't stick in their mind. It's just like meeting Joe next door, right? Yeah. Well, Jeff Sessions, you're a son of a bitch. You're like a Pat Robertson, KKK, saltine cracker fucking son of a bitch. Your soul, my friend, has a lot of fuckedness coming to it. Maybe in this lifetime you've got some fuckedness coming to it. Although your old fucking ass has milked the system so long, it'd hardly be worth it now. It'd hardly be worth it now to fuck with you. But just disgusting how these people are. They talk about family values, just like this Kim Guilfoyle. I can't even pronounce her name because I hardly ever watch Fox. When I see her, I get sick. I'll tune in for a second or two, and the energy just I can't handle it. Somebody turn this shit like right away. But Okay, so Don Jr. Married. You know, I forget how many kids he's got. He's got a few. I don't know. It looked like 3 to 5 to me. Who knows? Okay, so they just separate. And then this chick all of a sudden gets with him because she's a shill for the Republicans and hoping that maybe it'll get her a job with Trump or you know, whatever the case may be. We'll come to find out she was let go. But you know, I mean, it's hilarious and comical, people. It really is. Get out there and vote in the midterms. Get out there and vote, 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 vote. Vote progressive. Whoever makes it, if it's progressive or a Dem, or if it is a corporate Dem in some spots that makes it, but dude, bite your tongue and do it this time. I mean, we need to bite your tongue and do it this time. Then we can really concentrate after getting shit settled. We can seriously concentrate on getting rid of fucking putting it to Schumer and Pelosi that we would like for this to be their last term, or we would like for them after this term to give up their, Senate, House Majority Leader will be Nancy Pelosi. I'm not sure we'll take back the Senate. It could be, it's 51-49 now, but it could go to 52-48. I mean, we could pick up a seat or two and it could go to 50-50, which, because the Republicans are in control, that would give them the tie-breaking vote with the vice president. So, and you've got 3 or 4 shills from the Democratic Party like Joe Manchin and Heidi Heitkamp and I forget a couple others that are, in Trump country, and probably Doug Jones of Alabama. He's got a rerun this year because the congressmen have to run every 2 years. So we're going to have to depend on the Congress. So just get out there and vote. I wish it was like in Oregon where we do a mail-in vote, but if you got to wait in line 9 hours, I'm begging you, I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you this time. Let's do it. Let's get these midterms out of the way, and then we can look at getting rid of Schumer and Pelosi and who we're going to look to go forward with after that, whether it be Nina Turner, whether it be Kamala Harris, whether it be Booker or Klobuchar. God, I'm not sold on those two, Booker or Klobuchar. I like Harris. I like Turner. I like this lady that's probably, now I said she was probably going to be the governor of the first African-American governor of Georgia. I don't know, though, this white nut that she's running against has got a lot of money and a lot of backing, so we just need to keep our hearts out there and pull for Stacey Abrams of Georgia to become the first African-American governor and to be governor of Georgia. And, maybe that's part of our future, too. We need Bernie to guide us a little bit, but if Bernie runs, he needs a strong vice president. I'm telling you right now, I would vote for Joe Biden over, if it comes down to it and somehow Joe Biden, he's like the last real establishment Democrat kind of. If Joe Biden got it, the nomination, I think he could win, and I think people better vote for him. So we just need to make the right decisions and get rid of people like fucking Jeff Sessions and Mike Pompeo and all these other creeps that are still hanging around Trump, and get rid of Trump and make sure Pence's days are fucking sealed and numbered. We definitely don't want him. If this country voted for fucking Mike Pence, I don't know what I'd do. I'd have to take a month's worth of Valium to comprehend it. I don't know. But if we don't get somebody in there good, they'll fuck around and Trump could win the election again. I don't think it couldn't happen. Reagan won twice. The only reason Bush Sr. didn't win twice is because there was that third party that ran, Ross Perot. He got like 19% of the vote. Clinton won with 43. Okay, so don't ever discount these white racist, right-wing nut jobs, because they vote in mass and they vote and they stick together like rats, like I said, and they will vote. Okay, and probably twice in some places. Even Trump thinks it's people in California, it's people in rural areas probably that, you know, run the ballot box and maybe put a few extra votes through. Who knows? I'm just saying. But with that, I'm gonna quit rambling and ranting on. I really don't have anything to say like by myself, and so yeah, I'm just gonna let this one go, and hopefully everybody that listens to this will get something out of it and move on from there. And shout out again to What's Your Opinion Show. Shout out to Opinion with Facts. My two channels, the Palladium Light Grid Project and Palladium Express Productions. Check out our pages. Check out all our pages on YouTube. Of course, check out the show page from this, also on Twitter and Instagram. And with that, I'd like to give a big shout out also to Kenny Jackson, and again, thanking him for the opportunity for all this, and much love to everybody out there. Cosmic Dating Game Kiss. Mwah.